Hi, welcome to the Business Intelligence Solution Plan for Electronic Arts. I'm Rex Toothman. I'm going to be going over the business opportunities and the downfalls or weaknesses that Electronic Arts has and a solution plan for how to remedy this. I'll be going along as this is the companion to the actual sustenance that you'll get later. EA is a video game company that was established in the early 80s. They've developed many games and been known for, such as the FIFA series, Apex Legends, and Sims 4. They produce services for the video games themselves, online games, and through online store. Their current market is internationally, and these things are going to continue throughout. The video game industry currently has been exiting on the pandemic growth spurt that it just had. The industry is about to start changing soon, and games were in demand, but it's about to trend towards not so much. And as you can see, Electronic Arts is still currently as one of the top 10 based on the shown. The pestle analysis for Electronic Arts goes into the political, being that their main thing that focus there is the tax policies. Since they're international, they have to deal with the multiple differences that would affect that. The economic, they have to deal with inflation and disposable income, which are currently things, and then population trends of how they're resulting in change. The back half of the pestle is the technological, which is R&D. They have to constantly change games and services based on the needs that they are going to foresee for the consumer. And the energy efficiency of the environmental is because in the future things are looking not so grim with those. And then last, the legal, intellectual property and things facing video games. The strengths for EA as a large company, they have years of experience and they are future driven. Being large, they can do things that smaller companies cannot, and years of experience shows that they've been able to accomplish those things. Their weaknesses is the consumer negative view. This has been an established thing for years and needs to change, and their legacy-based sales, again, could dwindle in the future. The opportunities and threats that occur are the social media marketing. This could be a thing that could make things cheaper in cost, and then all the data analysis. Now they can perform more as they adapt to this new methods. And that their threats are tougher competition, consumer irritation, and inflation. The problems that were deduced through the data is inflation, post-pandemic decline, spending more than needed, and creating a positive view of the company. These are things that were identified that need to be dealt with in order to ensure that EA remains on the top. And inflation is something that's occurring that will then cause less spending. The decline, again, less spending, and all these things need to alter. The solution comes in two steps. The first being that they would bring in IBM Watson Analytics to be able to take all the analytical data that's not currently being viewed and be able to also view it with the AI. And then also swapping most of the marketing to social media to lower cost, and then also implementing IBM with that to enable to get the best data out of it as well. Overview of major operational areas impacted is going to be the executives, as they're going to have to alter how they are seeing the data. The analytics, because they're going to get more analytics and on different things at the same time. Human resources, because they're going to have to deal with more areas that need adjusted. The sales and marketing is going to have to change how they do things because they're switching to social media, and then training is going to need to be implemented for all. The timeline of this is going to be, the first step is going to be to implement the Watson into the user marketing analysis. Then you're going to have to restructure the marketing to use social media and less costly methods. Then the data collection for best marketing campaigns. And then you're going to have to continue to optimize on these things as time goes on to adjust and make sure everything's efficient. EA has been using just a fraction of the data they've been gathering from their users. Using the AI will help them to be able to use all of the data and get a more complete profile of each consumer. This will help with the loyalty, and it'll also help with the marketing that we were about to implement, as marketing costs have been going up for the last 4 years, and that needs to lower down to maintain there on top. The Watson implementation will assist as the tool that will mainly be used, and then also switching to the social media market. This will require a slight switch into possibly with the staffing for more focused on the social media than the normal marketing, but still needing a solid staff for the actual marketing campaign process. EA will have to switch its collection process. They're going to use the current method they are using with getting from the data from the users, but they're going to use the IBM Watson to gain a more complete profile of each of those units. And then also using the structures of how each user interacts with the AI to find and tailor make everything for marketing. The data mining methodologies are going to be association and clustering. With each one, there's going to be a different thing that is looked at to find. With association, we're going to try to find a predictive response of what each consumer would do based on the marketing. And then with clustering, we're going to find the positives and negatives that each consumer finds with everything from the gameplay to actually purchasing. The data analysis techniques are going to be primarily quantitative, and they're going to compare the cost of marketing versus the sales. And this is going to be over the time period to be able to see how the sales and such have adjusted over time, and then how the new methodology will be to provide and see the positives that are being gained from this. The monitoring would be considered the same as before, but with the implementation of the Watson AI. This would go forth with the already use of the BI and other things that EA is using. And you can take this better marketing analytics style and the user dynamics and then provide them on dashboards and updates for everyone who's required to need to know on the information based on what they need. The cost that would come out from switching to this new style would mainly come from the technology of using the Watson. Swapping from the current methods of marketing to the social media actually would provide an increase in profit, or it should be, as long as sales retain to be the same as they have been over time. The benefits that would be associated are the marketing cost, consumer positive view, game targeted consuming, and then all these together are going to create the initial bit of how much is going to be established and then how much will be gained over time. And then you apply this with the inverse of the negatives to show the return of investment over time. With the proposed solution plan of adjusting from normal marketing to social media and of getting all the data from consumers to be used best, this should decrease cost for marketing, increase positive image, increase consumer retention and growth, increase profits, and provide stability, and allow EA to remain as one of the top game companies for years to come.